Good morning and welcome to the Elevate Renatus team call. This is your host, Keely Austin. Today is Takeoff Tuesday. I'm excited and grateful to be here with you all. Our quote of the day is failure means you've now learned another valuable lesson that pushes you one step closer to success. If you haven't already, make sure you mark your calendar for March 18th through the 20th. That is our Renatus National Conference. We're going to be meeting online for our conference in 2021. The theme is shifting higher into focused transformation. We have our dates also for Leaders Retreat. We're going to Cabo San Lucas, Mexico, August 13th through the 17th, 2021. So excited to see you all in Mexico. And yesterday we had an awesome Founders Live with Bob Snyder, our CEO. Michael Huggins did a great training. And it's always fun to see the top 10 and what everyone's doing in their businesses as far as the competition that we have going on for the top 5 income earners going to the cruise next year. So make sure that you're on the Founders Live every Monday at 4 p.m. There are 3 kinds of people in this world: people who make it happen, people who watch what happens, and people who wonder what happened. We've just added some daily and weekly support to our systems. We've got a weekly private capital masterclass every Thursday at 6 p.m. Mountain Time for AIT students only. We also have our Dream Call, Daily Real Estate Action Mastermind Call every day, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 9:45. Anyone essentials and up is welcome to that call. We'd love to have you there. We've had some really great discussions, and a lot of people are out there taking action and bringing questions to this call. So it's been very beneficial to my business. Every Friday, we have our Fabulous Friday Morning with Lily Puertas from 8 to 9. And what's newer too is a Zoom call, the Zoom Up call. It's a get to know you call with Scott Rowe and Michael Huggins. We meet every day, Monday through Friday at noon for just 15 minutes. Each day there is a different story shared of someone who's reaching success within Renatus. So these are built for your guests. Make sure you're getting your guests to these noon Zoom Up calls, and they're also recorded. You can find those recordings on our YouTube channel, Elevate Renatus. Make sure you check out oes.com. There's a short video there, just 6 minutes long. Michael put that together to help us understand the importance of the optional event subscription and why we want to be a part of that. Every week on Wednesday, we have a house tour. Last week, we toured Dane Clark's flip. He purchased it for $150,000. He put $60,000 into it to fix it up. It is being sold for $315,000, which is a net profit of over $72,000 for Dane on that flip. Congratulations, Dane. So we do have a little bit different schedule this week with Thanksgiving happening on Thursday. So everything that we would normally be doing on Wednesday night, our Wednesday night house tour, is going to be tonight on Tuesday. So tonight we have today at noon at 12:30, we have our profits intro. 7 p.m. we have our house tour. And then we also have an AIT bonus track in Spanish. So make sure you're tuning into those. And then Wednesday this week, we have Wednesday this week, we have our house tour in Spanish, Pillars of Wealth, intro presentation, follow-up and funding webinar. We've got an onboarding session, Essentials Mastermind, Business Development Mastermind, and multifamily wholesaling and short-term rental. So remember, everything that we're normally doing on Thursdays will be tomorrow, Wednesday night. And don't forget about our house tour tonight, since it's Tuesday. We do record these morning calls. We've got the Renatus Team Elevate Facebook page. You definitely want to be a part of that. Lots of important announcements there. And then we also have our YouTube channel where you can find both these morning calls as well as the Zoom Up calls that I just mentioned. Today is Takeoff Tuesday. We get to learn from Bill Predebon. Bill has been spending an hour with us every Tuesday for close to 2 years now. And it's just incredible the value that he's able to share with us, because he is truly a product of the product. He's killing it both on the marketing side as well as the real estate side. So make sure that you take copious notes from Bill's training. A little bit of Bill's history: before Renatus, he was a pro skier in Vail, Colorado, and he realized he was not really qualified to do much else. So he learned about owning stores, getting into franchise. He bought a couple of stores with a partner, and due to lack of knowledge, he ended up losing everything. So he learned about real estate investing, and this was in 2007. Before Renatus still, Bill learned about real estate investing. He didn't really have any education, but he dove in head first. And during the 2008 crash, Bill ended up upside down and over $400,000. And after that is when Bill found Renatus, and that was really a powerful tool in pulling himself out of that hole. So in his first year with Renatus, he made 8 times more than he did the previous year, both working as a loan officer and as a realtor. And ever since, Bill has now grossed multiple 7 figures in real estate, as well as has completed now well over 150 transactions. And he's also a marketing leader. Like I mentioned, he's on the PIT team. He's in training to be on the PAC, the President's Advisory Council, and getting students enrolled left and right. So again, make sure to take notes. I'm excited for what Bill has to share with us this morning. Good morning, Bill. How are you?
Keely, how are you?
I'm great. Thank you. How you doing?
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, you sound good.
Can you
Are
see
you in the
me?
new place?
I am in my new office. It's
Cool.
not quite done. Yep. It is smaller than my old office. So bear with me, everybody. I had to put I don't have internet yet, so I have my jetpack, but that's not working very well. So I'm on my mobile hotspot. Thank you, Sandra. Bill, you have an echo. Is it echoing? What do I do about that?
I think it's because if you're not using a headset, we're just kind of like, it's not really an echo. It's more just, we can hear that you're in a room, if that makes sense.
Oh, I could use a headset. I have to get one. Shoot.
It's okay.
Maybe
You sound good. For today, it'll be just fine.
Are you there? Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. I had to figure out this. I had to set everything back up, you guys, and it's not one of my strong suits. All right. Well, thank you for that awesome introduction, Keely, and everybody. Thanks for being here. It's awesome to have everybody hanging out, and feel free to text your teams and your friends and family and get them on the call, and let's have a good call. I love it. Jeffrey's already coming up with a question, so I'm going to check this out. Whoops, let's go back down there. Whoops. Okay, that's gone. And I'm going to put in my phone number. You guys, you have it, 760-533-3141. I had Autumn reach out to me. It was pretty fun. So I talked to her, and I know she hasn't been able to get on these calls in a little while. So that number is 760-533-3141. It's in the chat. Just remember that if you ever reach out to me, I typically will miss your call, especially if you're not in my phone. I don't know what it is these days, but my spam or like business credit loan calls, people want to buy all my property calls, student loan calls, like it's weird. Refinance calls, it's off the chain. Like I get a lot. So I just usually go to voicemail, and then leave me a voicemail if you want, text me. And if I haven't got back to you within, that day, hit me up by the end of the day again. Like definitely hit me up again, and I'll stay with you. And I'll get back to you. Do you have a suggestion on texting follow-ups? Yes, I do. To those who connected on Saturdays, I do. Absolutely. Interested and are interested in Velocity Bank, but we're not able to attend. Okay, so so they didn't attend. Okay. So I kind of like this. This is exactly what I want to talk about today anyway, is follow-up, and it's specifically to the intensive, which Michael crushed it. So if you weren't on yesterday, if you know anybody who wasn't on yesterday, the questions and the conversation and the collaboration you guys did on this call, I thought was phenomenal. So check that recording out. So my unless you know, if you know that they know that that they didn't attend, wow, is that even a thing? If I don't even know how I'm trying to say that. If they don't know that they didn't attend, then I want you to assume that they attended. Okay. So like when we were live, and you used to get the text messages that your guests are there. And so if they didn't show up, you didn't get a text message. And then even if they didn't have the text messaging system working when we started going to Helios, and that kind of went away, which I really missed that. then you were obviously live and you knew pretty much if they were there or not. And you would check with registration or whatever, or you'd stand outside the front door and wait for your guests. But no, that's a no-no. We don't do that anymore. But so we knew, right? We knew that but they didn't know that we didn't know, because they might have just snuck in and sat in front or the back, and then, but we knew they weren't there. So my assumption is always that they were there. So I'm as excitable to them as I would be for the person that was actually there. And I'm going to be like, oh my God. So this was my text. So I was talking to one of my students yesterday, and she was following up, and we were doing some one-on-one follow-up calls. And I was like, oh my God, Saturday was amazing. And I leave it up to you guys. If you want to plug in, like, I loved this part, or this is my favorite, or I learned this, or whatever. If you want to make it real quick and short of something about you, and then I go right back to them, and it's no different. What did you like the best about Saturday? ... Okay. Like, and Keely, you can type this in, if I can type in the chat if you want, but, like when I do it, it's like, so, Saturday was amazing. Wow. I can't wait to do my first contract or deed. I don't know, whatever you want to put there, if you want to even put anything, but then I move right in, right? So then it's, what did you like best about your experience and the opportunity? What you saw, right? And that's even too much. You can narrow that down or whatever. But I like the word experiences. You guys heard, whatever. And then I immediately ... When is the best? Not even when is the best time, whatever. When do you want to jump on a call and follow up ASAP? So like I'm assuming they went, I'm assuming they loved it. I'm always future pacing them. I'm like, letting them know, whatever. And then however they want to respond, then I can work through that. Right. But I'm like, hey, I guess you got busy, blah, 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 blah. Then I'm buying into their bullcrap. And that's just my thought. You can do it honestly, however you choose. Like if you really want to be like, hey, I know, let's just say you did know that they left. You know what I mean? I don't draw attention to the negative. Not like, hey, I understand that your family came down and it was pre-Thanksgiving. That's like, hey, I understand you really don't want me to help you overcome your objections, and I'm just going to accept no for an answer. Right? That's what that is. Like saying, I understand why you think that way, but that's different. I can totally understand why you feel that way. That's a different scenario when you're just acknowledging that someone said something and you want to make them feel at ease when you're having a conversation with somebody. But if I'm going to text somebody who I even know they didn't show up, right? I would then take it away a little bit, right? So if they know that I know they didn't attend, my text would be this. I can imagine you're disappointed that you missed it. I can probably pull a favor and get the recording for you, but I need to know for certain when you want to watch it, that you want to watch it. And, this is a 6-hour event. When can you fit that in your schedule? So I'm going to re-qualify them to get the recording. Like you can just send them the recording, but honestly, unless, there was an emergency, then obviously 2 things didn't happen. One is they're not interested, right? No matter what they say. But in this case, you said that they are Jeffrey interested. So 2 of them, we didn't create enough value. Like there's no question. And I was who the hell was I talking about this with the other day? I don't remember because I got no memory left. I think I didn't even do drugs. I probably should have done drugs. Then I have an excuse for why I don't have any memory. So I'm talking to this guy. I hope that's not recorded, Bob. I'm just kidding. And we absolutely will do whatever it is that we choose to do. What's the most important? there are a few exceptions to that rule, but generally speaking, if there is something of value, selfishly, right? We like when I am on the phone and I'm texting and my wife is having a conversation with me, it is a physical choice. No matter how important it is, like I'm physically deciding that call is more important than my wife at that time, or listening to my wife, right? I'm learning this. Like I didn't know this before. Like I don't know how I didn't know this, but I made a damn excuse for it. It was an excuse all the time. That's all it was. It was an excuse to justify my choice to be on the phone and not listen to my wife, right? And not engage in the conversation, not be present. Like that's just the thing. So it's the same thing here, right? So a lot of times we have to create more value for them to see that that is going to be a better choice for them. So long story short, we're not going there and that's training, but you guys get my point. So if they know that I know that they didn't show up, I'm probably gonna state something. And most of the people that, especially this guy Jeffrey, I'm gonna get to these other ones here. Move on. Right, most of these folks are gonna be like, they're telling you they're interested and they really wanted to go. So I'm gonna be like, hey, I bet you bum you missed it. Oh my God, could you imagine if you'd seen this information, the conversation we'd be having right now is amazing, whatever, right? I'm gonna not make them feel bad, but I'm gonna make them have some pattern interrupt, right? Because most of the time, what do people expect? Hey, I'm sorry I didn't make it to your party. My wife and I just couldn't get out. We really didn't want to go out for COVID. Whatever the reason is, right? Whatever the reason is, it's a legitimate reason. It's their reason, right? We're like, oh no, I totally understand. That's the typical response. It's normal. There's nothing wrong with it, right? But in language, a pattern interrupt, right, is very important. When you pattern interrupt, you get someone's attention. When there's a big red stop sign, it says stop. It's a command. It's a command telling you. So whatever you're doing, you're on the phone, you're not paying attention, you're working with the kids in the back of the car, whatever, you see a stop sign, boom, you're interrupted. You stopped, right? It's a command. So the minute you say something different, something that's going to interrupt what they're thinking, they're going to be like, oh, paying attention, right? You've got their attention now. I bet you feel bad about missing it. I bet it sucks to be you that you're not going to say that, but you know what I'm saying? Now they're going to be like, listen, right? Another command, listen, watch, tell me this, let me ask you this. These are commands that command their attention, that you're going to say something important afterwards, right? So then it's, if you're interested and you still want to see this is a 6-hour video, tell me when you're actually going to be able to pay attention to this, because obviously we're going to get on a call and talk about it, because I can't wait to share some of this information with you. Or I bet you can't wait to hear some of the information I have to share with you. There's two different things right there that I said, right? I can't wait to share this information with you, or I bet you can't wait to hear what I have to say. When it's that second way, it's them wanting something from me. It's their choice, their decision that they want to hear me talk, not me deciding that they want to hear me. Does that make sense? Okay, let's move on. Keely Austin, you're so funny. Use the Helios app. It sends check-in notices. Yeah, that's another good, Helios is a multi-million-dollar software. You've got some very specific people in the country that are working on making that happen, not just a home team, but some serious people that I have not spent the time on Helios. I don't even know what it does. I think that it tells me when I made money. And even then, sometimes it's wrong. So, all right. I love it. I love Helios. I watch my education there from my phone, and it sends me check-ins on that app. And I just got to notice that I made $9,021.47. And the day before I made $500. And the day before I made $1,000. It's what business works. Okay. Bill, I have a question about the follow-up. Bill, do you want to come off the phone, or off the phone? Yeah, I don't even know what that means. Do you want to come out live?
Yes. Is that okay?
It's why we're here, my brother. I love you.
Great.
What's up?
Great. So I had my follow-up with one of the people that attended, and we had a talk, and she said yes. And she told me that she's going to pay today. But I told her, like, while we're talking about it, I said, if you put in $400 right now and we can unlock your education. She wanted to go for the Extreme Plus, and she's gonna pay the rest on Friday. So to get the Extreme Plus to open, it was 4,000, but I told her 400. So how can I explain that to her? Or how can I tell her, like, the 400 are going to be for the essential, and on Friday you can pay for the rest?
Okay, so you followed up with her, you asked for the order, and she said, I want to do the extreme combo.
Correct.
Okay, where did the essentials come into the picture?
So when we were talking, I said it's going to be $400 to open up your education, and by Friday you can pay the rest that left for you.
Okay, so the quick fix is this, you guys, and I don't necessarily not recommend this. Especially if you're doing ICM. Let me give you a quick example, and I'm gonna add this on. I'm gonna answer this question. Number one is I just enrolled a student as an ICM, an essentials, a profits, and a advanced. Okay. I don't even know what you call that. And then during her rescission, she wanted to upgrade to the combo, to the extreme. The system does not allow that to physically happen without canceling the entire order. So I had to cancel her ICM, I had to cancel her essentials, I had to cancel the whole order because it was all one order. Okay. So there's nothing wrong with placing multiple orders. Let's do your ICM, boom, order. Right now, if I'm going to do a combo and I know it's a combo already and it's extreme combo, right? That just means essentials and AIT extreme. Good enough. I'm going to place those two together, right? So if you don't nearly need to back out of this, Bilal, I was going to say Bill and then Bilal. I know him as Bill because me and him are tight. We're friends like that. But you guys,
Yeah.
you know. So you can just place the billing order for 400 down on the essentials, and then come Friday do a billing order for the extreme. And honestly, it's actually going to buy her 3 more days in her right to upgrade within 21 days for the same cash price. Obviously, that might not happen, but it's still available to her. So there's nothing wrong with the way you place that order. Just say, hey, the first thing everybody knows, right off the bat, when I say this to people, I just enrolled a girl in the essentials, the profits, and the advanced. And this other lady, and there's no way, like when I talk to people now, based on what Elevate has done, the most successful people I see get through their entire essentials first. They don't jump into the AIT like I did. And so Bilal, you've got the opportunity to say, listen, you've got 60 hours plus of education here already. Let's just get you this week into whatever, blah, 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 the tax and legal, or, since she watched the Saturday thing, get her into velocity banking right away. That's a 6-hour class. Let her watch that. And then come Friday, let's place the next order.
Okay. Well, her goal was to pay it off on Friday, to open it up today and pay it off on Friday. She's going to have the money to pay it off in full on Friday.
So she's going to have 20 grand on Friday?
Yes.
Okay, so
but
just
I found out that
here's the cool thing. Honesty goes a long way. Just tell her, you know what, I think I may have either misspoke or I didn't speak properly, or maybe you misunderstood me. The 400 is for the essentials, 3,600 is the down payment for the extreme and the AIT. So they got to be done separately. The 400 today will open up just the essentials, obviously. So let's put 400 down today. Right, and then we'll pay the whole thing off on the essentials, and we'll place the whole cash order for the extreme on Friday. Right,
she still would be eligible for the discount, correct?
Which discount?
So she can pay $19,094.
Yeah. So everybody knows. So here's the way it works: when you place a billing order, right? You can use multiple credit cards. Your down payment is up to you. In your first page of the billing order, if you've never done a billing order, your first page is going to determine how much you're going to put on each card. If you want to change it later, you got to cancel the whole order and start over. It's a pain in the butt. So know how much you're going to put on each card, number one, in the beginning. Number two is you're going to place a billing order. You can place a billing order for a combo or for of any kind of combination of the products or one product solely. You have a 7-day right of rescission on all those products, even in the billing. After the 7 day, you've got 21 days from the 7-day right of rescission that it's over, where you have 21 more days to actually fulfill your cash obligation. So then you call up, you send an email and to Matt Snyder, and then you call up and get a hold of Matt Snyder, and he would personally have to take the credit card over the phone, adjust the order, and he would speak with them, and that's how you pay off the billing on the within the 21 days to the cash deal. Does that make sense? So yes, she's going to be even if she places her order on Friday and doesn't place her order today for the extreme, she's still going to get all the bonuses as well. She's going to get the 7. She's going to get 3 with essentials or 4 with essentials anyway today. She'll get 3 more with Tony Scotti. They're on they should be on the laundry room, on the thing on the laundry room. Sorry, new parking. I blocked her and I forgot. And then, what was I saying, Keely? 7-day right.
Yeah, we were talking about the 7 days after the 7th.
Oh yeah,
we will talk to Matt. Sorry,
she's still going to get the
Matt
Black
Snyder.
Friday special. All that'll count, even if she places the order entirely on Friday or not. It's still within the time frame.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Thank you very much.
Yeah. I hope that makes it clear to you guys. If you got any more questions on that, so it's
Yes.
congratulations.
I'm sorry, I gotta go. We have like some work going on the house.
Yeah, good enough. Congratulations, man. That's awesome.
I just wanted to ask for the question. Thank you so much for your help, Bill.
Great job.
Thank you. Have a good day, everyone. Bye.
Yeah. That's awesome. So, one of the things that I was having a conversation, and this girl that I was talking to, she had, I think she had 10 guests registered. She's brand new, literally an ICM 2 weeks ago, and just hit the ground running, right? One of these girls. And so she is trying to see, she's brand new to follow-up, obviously. I think she had 3 of them attend, or 4 people attend the intensive. So we started doing some follow-ups with them, both based on these texts as well. But one of the things that we're new, and I don't mean new to Renata's, just we haven't done the follow-up as much. Or we've always had it, you know how you kind of like drive, right? And if you're a passenger in the car and you get somewhere, you know where you're going, but you're like, I don't remember how I even got here, right? The next time you go and you drive yourself and you're like, shoot, like, where did he take, which road did we take? Because you didn't drive it yourself. So when you do your 5-star follow-ups, right? Which means you're not the 5-star, they're the 5-star, and you are the student, the ICM in training. And you're going through and you do a follow-up, let's just say every month at best, because you're new. You're not 100% full on, whatever, and you have a couple falls. And all of a sudden 2 more months go by, and now you're 5-star or 3-star or 1-star, and you got to do your own follow-up. Like, you remember how to get there. You're like, you know where you're going. You're like, I'm going to the hospital. I went to visit Dad 3 weeks ago with Bill, and he drove me there, and now I can't remember, do I go right or left? Same thing here, right? So this follow-up thing is something, I don't care if you've been around the block for a while or you're brand new or both to the follow-up. There has to be, number one, a destination. Most of the time, if we don't have a destination, like the directions in mind, what happens is we're going to drive around until we freaking get lost finding the hospital, and pretty much we're going to give up. And the person at the hospital died. Like, we didn't get there to see him. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that, especially in COVID days. So let's be politically correct. The person at the hospital checked out. They were waiting for you to pick them up, and Keely's smiling. See how I reframe this? Okay, so no one's dying. And you're going to pick them up at the hospital, and they're checking out, they're coming home, they've been, had a little routine surgery, and they're coming back, and you missed them because you drove there with no direction. Same thing with your client. When we get them on the phone, right, in a follow-up procedure, right, when you don't have a path for your phone call specifically, and you don't have a path for your follow-up process, right? So I know immediately where I'm going to go. So let's tell you about that. All right. When I get in the car to drive my follow-up, right, there is a few things that I'm going to have in mind. Number one is I'm going to go the fastest way to get to the hospital. I don't have enough time. I time manage like crap. So I don't like traffic. I drive aggressively. So if I'm driving through rural neighborhoods, it's not going to get me there the fastest. So same thing here. The fastest way to money is what? Ask for the freaking order. So I'm not going to call them up and go, you ready to get started? No, but I'm going to lead to a discussion that's going to enable me to ask for the order. So I'm going to go with a specific phone call, and I'm going to backtrack for you guys on the actual follow-up process, right? Like a flow chart. The follow-up for me is a flow chart, just like everybody else. So on my call, hey, how's it going? I'm not talking about the kids, and I know you guys know this, but literally, we when we're nervous, building rapport through, hey, how's your day going? What's going on? Oh my God, COVID, whatever we start talking about, it's easy conversation, right? But it's distracting, wasteful time. I don't mean that, but imagine if you're good to go. Like you might have blocked off 3 freaking hours, right? But your client might not have. So you start having a 15-minute conversation about the sky's blue and whatever else you're talking about, you might be losing precious time when it comes to serious conversation about closing them, right? So, so immediately, hey, how you doing, right? Before I start to get into the personals, I'm going to let them get in the personals, but I'm not going to ask a personal. What am I going to ask? Is now a good time? Do you have a good 30 minutes to talk or whatever it is, right? I'm going to re-qualify for the time that we blocked off for the follow-up, because this follow-up is not a 15-minute phone conversation. Hopefully you're doing it on YouTube. I'm stupid. Hopefully you're doing it on Zoom, right? And so my conversation immediately is okay, awesome. How's your day going? Good. Listen, man, I can't believe what Tony Scotti was talking about when it comes to that velocity banking, and the fact that the guy owns like 90 properties and hardly has money in any of them, then uses HELOCs to buy other properties. Is that like it's mind blowing, isn't it? And they're going to be like, right. And if they watched it at all, they're going to, whatever it is that you feel, even if you have never done it, don't even care about it, you're probably never going to do a contracted deed. You learned something and it was amazing to you and you're going to bring it up, right? So the only reason I'm going to do that is because I'm not even going to let them answer my question. What am I going to say? Keely, what am I going to say? What did you like best about Saturday? Right? Immediately, right? And then they're going to tell me what they want to talk about. They probably have an idea of what they want to talk about, right? And then I'm going to acknowledge what they said, right? And then the whole direction right now is getting them to understand that it was powerful, right? Do you have any thoughts around what that particular topic, whatever they say, right? Do you have any comments or questions or thoughts on the opportunity you saw? What did you see after you saw the velocity banking, and what were your feelings about what Bob Tierney had to say and the opportunity with Renatus? Do you have any thoughts, comments, or questions on that? Is there something specific that I can help you understand, right? The purpose of this call is so that you get enough knowledge to make a decision, right? Remember that. The purpose of this call is for you to have enough knowledge to make a decision. Purpose of this call is so that you have enough knowledge to make a decision. So, and then they're going to say something. Well, no, not really. Is it 20 grand, right? Okay. Yeah. So let me ask you. So you did have an opportunity to see what Bob was talking about. There's kind of like the different options. Like people love options, right? I'm always asking. Yeah. You love options, right? Cool. So you got a chance to see that there were more than one option. It wasn't just all, 19,994. Did you see the different packages, right? let me ask you something, and I'll go right in this, right? If money wasn't an object, is there a package you would prefer to be in? Would you be in the whole thing? Like most of us, would you buy the extreme combo or invest in the extreme combo, or would you be somewhere else? No, I would do that. Okay, cool. I just wanted to double check. Okay, so you got an idea of what the other packages are. So notice how I didn't focus on the 20 grand, but I just had them clarify that the idiot knows, I can't call him an idiot, right? That's not legal. The client knows, right? I'm joking, you guys, right? We're lightening this up. What I mean is everybody knows that if they watch Bob Tierney and do the presentation, they know, and they've seen, obviously, if they're at the intensive, they most likely have seen something prior to this. And I'm going to get to that when it comes to my flow chart in a second, but they know there's more than one option, but they're focused on the 20 grand because the 20 grand is a freaking sticker shock. But if I can have them let me go back in their mind and see that there were more options, it's going to take them at ease. But if I just answer the question, be like, yeah, $20,000 is a lot of money. And no, of course, you don't have to pay 20 grand. There's other options. We have packages from 197 all the way up to 23,000. You know what I mean? And all of a sudden, now they're just like, oh, you know what I mean? It's like, oh, it is 20,000. You know what I mean? Like we want them to be like, the way I said that, you guys, when I'm like, hey, that's awesome. Yeah, I totally get what you're saying. Did you see everything, right? Did you get to see the different options? Everybody loves options. You love options, right? Of course I do. Yeah. So, did you see everything? Did you notice there were other packages, or let me know what you saw, what you feel? Oh yeah. Did you see the essentials? Yeah. And do you remember how much that was? Oh, that was like 19. It was like $2 grand investment. Yeah, totally. So you know that there's choices, right? Yeah. Okay, cool. So let me ask you, with that said, then knowing that the packages, are you ready to get started today? Would you like to get enrolled? Most of us, like I said, we do the Epics combo. I mean, that's just where people are successful. Are you ready for the Epics combo? Should we open, get your account started, right? So I know that most likely, unless this person's me and they're an A personality and they're, the ducks are lined up and the stars are aligned, they're not going to just jump on that yes, right? They're going to have an objection. Well, I like what I saw, but I don't know that I want to start. I got to talk to my wife. She didn't get a chance to see it, and let me ask you this. So I appreciate that. Obviously, so she didn't see it. Have you talked to her about it? You told her that you watched it on Saturday. Yeah, totally. And she knows about the opportunity, right? You've been talking about her getting involved in real estate. Cool. So if you had her blessing, though, would you be getting started today? I mean, would you want to, find out more information? Let me ask you this. Forget that. Is there enough information that you have? Like, is there something else that you saw like Saturday, like how to do a contract for deed or a little bit of the velocity banking? Like, can you see yourself using the velocity banking to pay down a $20,000 investment, or paying down your mortgage? Do you see yourself? Is there any questions you have specifically on like Renatus and the opportunity and how we deliver our education and the opportunity you saw? Well, no, it seems pretty straightforward. I watched the presentation on Thursday and I loved it. Tony Scotty's amazing. Yeah, I mean, if we had 32 of those people, imagine that, 36. Yeah. Okay, so let's do this. You're going to talk to your wife, right? Are you ready? Why don't we place your order today? Let's step one, right? We get you established with an account. Okay, so step one, what I'm going to do is I'm going to plug in your information. I know we both know again, money's not an object. We're not worried about it. We'll figure out where we're going to get it from, right? Wife says, yeah, good enough. We're going to assume the best, right? You don't want her to tell you no on something you want to do, right? Whatever. So let me do this. Step one, we're going to just go ahead and we're going to get your account open up. That's as simple as me placing your order, right? Step two, step 1.5, we'll get confirmation from your wife. If we need to get her on the Zoom, it's no problem. We'll be able to talk to her on the phone or you can talk to her, right? You're going to share this information. And then boom, we're done. Step 3, we just fund this baby. We get this thing funded. It's the beginning, start it up. So what do you say we place your order now? Right? So I've already asked the order 3 times, right? They're already there. And I'm not saying this is the greatest conversation that you're ever going to have and it's going to go this way and all that stuff. But here's my thought process. All right. In the process of a call, I got to evaluate, right? On every event that someone goes to, my assumption and my hope is that there's an outcome, a desired outcome, which is enroll the student, right? It's not to have a pleasant conversation about Tony freaking Scotty. It's not, I could care less about contract for deed right now. I'm not doing one. I'm not looking to go do one right now. I'm concerned about my business, which is marketing, which is enrolling students and making money and changing lives. So therefore, the object of the call is get them as close to the thing as they want. and get out whatever questions they might have or objections they're going to have, right? So if people start to, like, I talked to somebody the other day on a follow-up. Guy's a car salesman. Naturally, Saturday he was working. So he plugged in like twice, right? Just got on the internet, finally, whatever. Zoom was having its own issues on Saturday morning. I'm sure you all experienced it, blah, blah, blah. It was just a pain in the butt. I don't know why everybody, like, I got right on, no problem. My link did not have a problem. Click here to join. I clicked here, it joined me. Everybody else that I enrolled or that I, my students, I can't get on, here's the wrong thing, webinar's on another, host is on another web, whatever. So they get on, he texts me, he's like, I just got on just in time for this break, blah, blah, like he's all upset, right? So this is a friend of mine, like he's a warm market, and he's like pissed off. So it happens to all of us, you guys, don't worry about it. So the cool thing is I follow up with him, right? And right off the bat is, well, yeah, I love everything about it. I'm just in no position at all to get this, to do anything at this point, right? And I've already known this from the conversations I've had with him, right? My only goal in plugging him into events right now is to create enough value that at some point he's going to go, all right, Bill, I gotta figure out a way. How can we really have a conversation about getting started? So at no point on my follow up with him from Saturday, after he only watched like an hour here and an hour there, was me to sit down and try to figure out how we're going to place a credit card order, because he has no credit card money. I know it right now. I know what his situation is. He's got this investment property that's like an alligator, and the thing is eating him all the way up to his crotch. And so it's killing him. Hopefully that was funny. So I know what his situation is. So we're going to work through it. But my idea is to create enough value around the education that he might start to see a way how to beat the hell out of this alligator without feeding it more money. Does that make sense? So that conversation, I know where it's going. So the more events I can get him into, the better it is, right? I also had a conversation with JT, who was able to spend some time on it. And JT and I are this close to placing his order. So immediately, right, my conversation is, what is, let's get together on Monday on a Zoom and place the order. Where are you ready to get started? I know, whatever I said, all that initial 5-10 minutes of stuff, that what do you like best and all that stuff. JT's ready to go. But then he texts me back. He's like, hey, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I'm super busy, short week, sales. He's in sales and all that stuff, right? So I know we're going to place the order. There's no more objections. I'm not even booking him to another meeting this week, right? I don't want him to be confused. I don't need him to see anything else. I'm going to have a conversation a week from now. He's going to be focused on his work and then Thanksgiving. And then I'm going to have a conversation with him and place the order on Monday. So these particular people are in an order just on this one little phone call. Now, as we go forward at the end of this, we got to think about the actual follow-up, which is what I mentioned last week that we're doing. When I have a position, right, we all do, of a beginning to an end, and the end is the beginning, right? And so what I mean by this is I'm going to introduce somebody to the opportunity, right? The intensive to me is something once a month that can hammer people home that are on the fence, right? We've done everything we can. We put them on a 3-way call. It applies to everybody, and I'll get to that. But for the people that are in a pipeline, right, that are in our funnel, that are in a flow chart, right? They've seen the intro, they might have seen a property tour, they've had a one-on-one, or they've had a 3-way call with you, and they're just, you cannot overcome the money objection, you cannot overcome the spouse objection, the time how much time it takes, their scenario, right? They're swimming in their own crap of life, and they're just, the mud and the dirt and the crap is just holding them down, and they just can't get out of it, right? They got a snorkel and a mask on, and it's kind of crap, and they're kind of wiping it off their face because it's their own crap that they're swimming in. And so then you have an intensive, and a guy like Tony Scotti, Mark Kohler, blah, 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 every single instructor comes out, shows the dynamic of the company, shows the quality of the instructor, shows the quality of the education, has some aha moments, community, 300-400 people on the call. Like, I'm getting goosebumps right now just talking about it, right? And then you throw out an incentive or two, and Bob Tierney comes on and crushes it with the freaking presentation that, is it's such a big overview. They've seen it once and now they saw it again. And it even solidifies some of their misunderstanding and their confusion. And boom, they're ready to go. And then that person's there, right? So that's the intensive, but it's just another event. If I have somebody already there, I don't need them to go to the intensive to get qualified, to make a decision. They've already made the decision. I just got to get the money. So I'm waiting for them on the money. If I'm waiting for somebody on the money, I'm having conversations about, hey, did you get down to the credit union? Where are you at with your HELOC? Did you did credit nerds sign the documents? But whatever they're going through to get their funding, that's my conversations. I'm not sending them. I might send them to a property tour, but I'm not sending them to a bunch of events, right? Unless they're asking me to go to more events. Our focus is they're in the part of the flow chart where they're getting funding. That's their flow chart, right? The events are what? The events are there to build a bigger, stronger community, to get more and more value, to create more value around it, and to have them understand more clearly. When people understand the value of a car and they start to study it and they start to learn about why they would buy a Tesla for 100 G's, right? They hear about the one thing that prompts their attention, which is driving the fast lane, right? They hear about the other thing, which is like a $7,000 tax credit, or, I heard Johnny got $2,000 or $20,000 in tax credits if I spend 100 grand, whatever it is, these myths that are out there. Then they start to really see the value of whatever it is that makes this car so valuable, right? And they start to learn more about it. When they learn more about it, they start to make an educated decision and start to really think about paying the money for it. Not just because they're going to be able to drive in the fast lane. No one's going to spend 100 grand to drive in the fast lane. Well, some rich people will, but you get my point. Same thing here. The events are but the follow-up. So every single flow chart ends, every single move in the flow chart as they move down and around in the flow chart, every single time there's a phone call. There's a follow-up phone call and ask for the order, right? And there's an objection. And if it's an objection I don't have time to overcome on the phone, that they haven't overcome themselves, whatever it is, right? Then I either flow chart them to a three-way call and get somebody else to try to sell them on it, or I move them to another event, right? So then I can have another phone call with them. Does that make sense? If I have a phone call with you today and you got to talk to your wife or your husband, your spouse about it, right? And that's your objection, right? I have a guy right now. Let me give you an example. This guy's funding without a doubt next week, or he's placing his order. He could fund this thing 5 times sideways and the kid's 29 years old. He could fund it every which way you want. He just bought $1 million property, his first primary residence. And his objection is his blessing from his parents. Honestly, I sucked at overcoming this one. My conversation this morning was, right? I called him up on my dog walk. And my conversation is on purpose. Now, we had business to talk about, spent 5 minutes on it, getting to know each other, right? And right away, hey, man, you know what I was calling you for is I thought about you yesterday. I'm like, I was thinking, man, you just closed on that property. How is it, by the way? You're sleeping there now? He's like, yeah, I just moved in, 3rd night. Cool. Listen, let me ask you this. If you would have bought a property 5 years ago, right? You would have been 4 years ago. You would have been 25. Like, why? Like, knowing what you know now, like you just watched me in 5 years make 250 grand on a property. Let me ask you, why didn't you buy a property 5 years ago? He said, well, I didn't have the down payment. Like right now, I got the down payment for this property, right? He's like, I didn't have the money. I didn't have the ability. I said, exactly. You didn't know how to do it. When you don't know how to do something, you're not going to buy a property, right? So what's interesting is right now you're able to buy a primary residence. I said, what if an opportunity knocks on your door right now to buy your first investment property? And do you have a down payment for that one? Do you have an extra 400 grand for a down payment in sunny Southern California for an investment? He's like, no. I'm like, you won't know how to do it. And you'll look back 5 years from now and you're going to say the same thing. This is the epiphany that I had about you. He's like, let's get on the phone with a Zoom with my dad. He's like, let's just wait till after Thanksgiving. I I got time tomorrow. Tomorrow's Wednesday. We'll either do it tomorrow, figure out how his dad's a surgeon, does surgeries on Wednesdays and Fridays, makes $750,000 to $1 million a year, right? His dad pays 47% in taxes, 47%. I pay 8 to 10, right? but he wants his dad's blessing on this 20 grand. He does not want to spend this $20,000. And for some reason, I've not been able to overcome the objection. So I'm going to get on the phone with his dad. That's what he wants. And that's what I'm going to do. My point is, I didn't even care that he went or didn't go to the intensive on Saturday. I didn't even ask him if he watched it, right? Because I already know where we're at in the flow chart. Does he need to gather more information? Do I need to provide more value of the education in Renatus? No, he's witnessed me do it. I am living proof that it works for him, because we have a personal relationship. So I don't need to validate it with a Tony Scotti. Did I invite him? Did I, make him feel good that I gave him a link? Oh yeah, I'm going to be moving. You think he really was watching the damn thing when he was moving anyway? No, my conversations on that phone call are about the money and his one objection, which is his dad, right? And so I have to provide even more excitement for him to get his dad on the phone. So you guys follow me on where I'm going with these follow-ups? And it's not just a follow-up, but it's the follow-up. The follow-up process starts when you get a lead in your phone. When you get a lead, then you could do a follow-up right there. Hey, I've been looking for real estate education. I'm ready to get started. I don't know where to start. Well, I'll tell you what, $20,000, you get some of the best educations for 2 people a lifetime. You ready to go? You know what I mean? That's your follow-up, right? That's your conversation if you want, but trying to sell a $20,000 package with nothing, they haven't even seen a picture of the car. It could be a hard sell, right? So the reason we expose them to the opportunity is to create intrigue and interest, right? Then they're going to have questions and objections immediately. So then we give them more value, right? So we have a flow chart. We have a flow chart of where they're going, but every single point, everybody's different. I did not need to go to an intensive, to go to a thing, to go to a property tour. We didn't even have them in 2008, 2008. In fact, I think I did the very first property for Arizona. I did the very first property on my very first fix and flip. It was a huge property. But we got in trouble. We called it a real estate drive-by. That was it was like on the flyer, real estate drive-by. After about a year, people wanted to get rid of that little comment there. So anyway, but my point was I was ready to go. So Eric really only had to say, how do you want to fund it, right? I remember Eric was telling me about the marketing, and they had this thing that they would use to try to close the sales, where all the people that you've got in your downline would pass up, and then if you don't get yours before all these other people, then you're going to be out, and you're going to miss out on all these pass up sales and all stuff. And I got a question: have you ever created that flow chart follow up for your ideal close? You know my drive, right? There's no way I created a flow chart, but I can, and maybe I will. I've had Keely sent me some slides the other day, because I'm going to put on my Billy Go Team Facebook page the meetings and when they are, and then the little links and everything like that. And it's been like 10 days, and it's still not on my Facebook page. And my team is like, hey, when's the meetings, right? And I tell them when the meetings are, and they should know when the meetings are. And these calls say when the meetings are, and still don't know when the meetings are, right? Not 0-10. But I don't physically, I'm so not me. And so I need to learn to be more not me. I need to do the things that I don't do well to improve myself. So Jorge, George, I will actually, I could draw that. I'm gonna have to commit to that. But yeah, the flow chart is, honestly, it's been in my head, and today is probably the first day, maybe the second day in 10 years that I've actually used the term flow chart when doing a follow-up. So it's brand new. It's brand new out of my mouth. What the words coming out of my mouth? But it is, it's not brand new in my head. So I was just trying to make it easier for you guys to follow me, since I'm not real good with the writing on the paper, on sharing my screen. Yes, Sandra, I have 2 assistants. I just don't know what to tell them to do. So I just send them some Venmo money, and then I don't even know if they're working. So that's not very effective either. Do what I say, not what I do. You guys are gonna kill this. You're gonna do this so much better than I'm doing it. You're gonna make so much more money than me, and you're gonna enroll so many more students and have so many less mistakes in real estate. It's gonna be awesome. All I gotta say is your grass is much greener than mine, folks.
Intellectuals love flowcharts. You're absolutely right, Melissa. Bobby Johnson, you're funny. Okay, so any thoughts, comments, questions? I got like, I got 9 o'clock. I think we got a real estate call to jump on. I don't want to take anybody's time. You guys, I hope that helped. I know we don't have enough time. I hopefully ask Dane some more questions tomorrow about his follow-up. He probably had 48 million people at the intensive yesterday because that guy's a freaking machine and he's like 30. So we're not even friends anymore. I'm just gonna tell you, I don't like that guy. I'm just kidding. You guys, I love you. Create my mind trap. This is how I train my VAs. Create a mind trap. I mind map. I know, Alex, you're right. You guys see, I learned from y'all. Energize is always Deborah. It's got about energy. This is the way I talk to my people. I was in Home Depot like this talking to Laura yesterday, and the excitement was contagious. When she got on a 3-way call with her follow-up, you guys, it was ridiculous. Couldn't even shut her up. It was awesome. All right. Doug, thank you. Thank you, Gilda. You were beautiful. Kim, love you as always. You guys, unbelievable. And it's so good to see everybody. Cecilia Hawk, you're killing it, crushing it. Esther, Charles, everybody, John, Berta, everybody. Keely, I love you, girl. Thank you for all you do. You're amazing putting this together, and the amount of time you spend helping out the team is priceless. So thank you. Thanks, everybody. Bobby G, thank you, buddy. And everybody, love you guys. All right, I'll let you shut it off, or is that me? Is it me or you?
I will.
All right.
Thanks, Bill. You're awesome.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Jenna.